Om Sai Ram. Today I'm going to talk about the interesting life of Anant Prabhu Walavalkar or Dev Baba. Rajaram, his father, hailed from Walaval, a place in Sindhu-Durga district, and hence they were called the Walavalkars. As Walaval was a small place, he, after being married to Krishnabai, alias Sitabai, who was the daughter of Dabholkar, moved to Girgaon. That was a suburb of Mumbai. And as it was her first delivery, Sitabai went to her home. Dabholkar was very surprised when he saw the condition of Sitabai. She had a lot of difficulties during her pregnancy and was rather sick. She was very clingy and would not leave her father's side. And she was also very terrified of the pregnancy and the delivery. Sitabai had a thing, an illness that was called Nandavayu, possibly tetanus. Dabholkar was very concerned about her health, and he wondered how the pregnancy and delivery would finally turn out to be. So he did the best thing that he knew. He ran to Shirdi and prostrated at Baba's feet and sought refuge in him. In great detail, he told him everything that was happening with his daughter. Baba reassured him and told him not to worry. He said, Balant pan nirvigna hoil, that is, the delivery will be just fine. And then he said, don't worry, I am going to send my son to your home. Reassured by Baba's words, Dabholkar returned home. And as usual, he prayed earnestly to Baba to help his daughter during this difficult period. Rajaram, who was a Vitthal Bhakta and was of the Varkari Sampradaya, sought refuge at Lord Vitthala's feet. He prayed to Vithala to give him a Dnyaneshwar-like son. On 13th April 1918, Sitabai delivered a boy. When it was time for Dabholkar to go and see her, he went into the room and was rather surprised at what he saw. His daughter had turned her back on her son, and the child was thrown in a corner. However, he was lying there contentedly. But what surprised him the most was that there was a halo of light around his head and a bright halo around his entire body. Immediately, he remembered Baba's words, and he knew that this child would be a saintly, spiritual person. He sat with his daughter and explained to her that this child was a very spiritual child and she should not be afraid of him. However, Sitabai just would not hold the child. She wouldn't cuddle him, nor would she feed him. Thus, a day or two passed and Dabholkar was very concerned. Then he picked up the child, went to Shirdi and laid the child at Baba's feet. Baba calmly picked up the child and laid him in his lap and patted him. Then he took his thumb and inserted it into the mouth, and lo, milk came out. The thumb is called the Angushta, and if we look at pictures of Bala Krishna, you will find that Lord Krishna as a child often had his thumb in his mouth and milk would come out. In the Sri Sai Satcharita, there is the story of Das Ganu, desirous of going to Prayag to have a bath. Then Baba tells him that he need not go so far, and from the big toes of both his feet he produces the Ganga and the Jamuna. Here Baba feeds the tiny baby with milk from his Angushta. Oh, what an incredible Leela this is! After this, Dabholkar takes the child home and he grows up to be a young lad. He does his primary education in Marathi medium and then goes to Wilson English medium school. However, the child was not interested in his studies. He would go to the Swami Samarth Mutt, which was close by, and meditate and worship Lord Swami Samarth. Swami Samarth also blessed him, and the child grew up to be a very spiritual child. As a young man, he joined the Kurla Municipal Krida Kendra as a teacher in physical education. He was very fair to his students and loved all of them. However, there were two castes there. One caste thought that he was rather unfair and partial to another caste. So they went and complained to another teacher. That teacher decided to give him a good thrashing the next day. One of the other teachers casually mentioned this to Dev Baba. He said, "Oh, but that teacher's not going to come to school tomorrow." And so it came to pass that very evening he went out swimming and drowned and died. Thus, Dev Baba knew that he had Siddhi. Baba had bestowed Vak Siddhi on him, and whatever he spoke would come out true. At that very moment, he decided not to do any service for anybody, but to go about and look after his spiritual welfare. He went on all the pilgrimages of all the holy places like Kashi, Mathura, Vrindavan, and finally he went to the Himalayas. There he met many masters and he became spiritually very awakened. He learned Hatha Yoga and Pranayam, and then he came back. In 1945, his mother was very sick. At that time, he visited her in Mumbai, and he realized that she would pass away soon. So he gave her mantrupdesh and he asked her to do Nam Jap, and he reassured her that she would pass away peacefully. Then he came to Shirdi, sat in the Samadhi Mandir and did Parayan of the Sai Satcharita. He was midway through the Parayan when he got news that his mother had taken a turn for the worse. So, as he was in communication with Baba at all times, he asked Baba whether he should go and visit her. And Baba said yes. Now he was in a quandary. How was he to go so far in such a short time and meet his mother? And lo, Baba stood before him, and he had brought a horse with him. Then he asked Dev Baba to accompany him in the Shukshma Rupa, or the invisible form, and both of them went to meet his mother. Again, he reassured his mother and told her that she would have a peaceful death and not to worry, as Baba himself was there to look after her destination. Then he came back and completed the Parayan. When he told the devotees in Shetty that his mother had passed away, they looked at him with astonishment as they saw him seated there doing the Parayan the entire time. In 1952, he was married to Kishoribai. Kishoribai was a like-minded person, and they spent their time in doing bhajans, satsang, and talking about Baba. He later went to his ancestral home in Ambarnath, and on the second floor, they made a temple. They also installed a Sat Dhatu idol of Sai Baba. Dev Baba passed away on Ekadashi, 25th of May, 1994. He told his relatives not to perform any rituals as he did not think it was necessary. Dev Baba had a large number of followers, and being kind and compassionate, he would often take on the illnesses and the problems of his followers. Especially in those days, women had very hard and tedious labor. There were no maternity wards, and there were no gynecologists at that time. Usually a midwife would come and do the delivery, and the women had to suffer intense pain and complications. At that time, Dev Baba would take the pain and the delivery upon himself, and thus he was fat and bloated at that particular time, and he went through severe abdominal pains. And following this, the lady who was in problem had a safe, easy delivery, as Dev Baba had taken it upon himself. Dev Baba was very fond of Bhivpuri Road, the temple there. Oftentimes, he would go and do Parayan there. He was also given the honor of lighting Baba's dhuni when the temple was constructed. Baba had told Pradhan that it cannot be his Shirdi if there was no dhunimai. Dev Baba had the honor of lighting the dhunimai. Once he was doing Parayan in the temple, and on the completion of it, there was the Udyapan, and all the villagers had gathered together there as they knew that there would be a grand feast. At that time, the Aarti was in progress, and the Mantra Pushpanjali was being recited. Suddenly, Dev Baba felt the presence of a strong spiritual person standing next to him. He opened his eyes and he saw a shepherd. At that moment, all the devotees had gone forward to offer the flowers to the idol. This villager stood right where he was, and he let the flowers drop on his feet. Immediately, Dev Baba recognized Baba, who had come in the form of the shepherd, and he prostrated before him and thanked him for coming to the Udyapan ceremony of the completion of the reading of the Sri Sai Satcharita. have already spoken about his death, there are numerous followers of Dev Baba even today, and his temple at Ambarnath is very famous, as many people even today get healings and they get their difficulties solved by going to that temple. Dev Baba was this wonderful devotee that Baba fed and gave him milk and suckled him by placing his thumb in his mouth. Oh, what a wonderfully lucky devotee this was. With this, I will end the interesting life story of Dev Baba. Om Sai Ram.